I will continue my top 50 board games. Here is another that I think you'll like. There's 50 in this list of board games. They seem to get better because it's a top 50 list. Hello Shepherds! I'm going to continue my list of top 50 board games from my point of view. This list is different because it's an average Joe kind of a list of games. I put them in order of what I would prefer to play over another game. And I've eliminated games which are not games that are Kickstarter games that I've played already and really love and think that they're great. And I've eliminated games I've only played once and think are great, because that's not the overall impression of a game. Sometimes you'll play a game, it's great, and then you play it again with other people and it'd be really pants. Again, you may find that some of these games on this list are different to my scores that I do on reviews. That's because when I review a game, I give an overall impression for the overall person, and it's not personal to me, my review. So you may see a game which I've given a 10, but it's not number 1, because something else that I've given an 8.5 is number 1, because it's a game that I like playing lots. So without further ado, let's carry on. Number 30. My number 30 is a board game that I've just recently reviewed, and I don't review a lot of board games because 1, I don't have the time to review board games, and 2, I don't have lots of board games to review, and I normally kind of review the ones that I really love. This one I really love, and it's the fact that it's my wife who picked this up because 1, she liked the cover, and 2, she actually likes playing this game a lot. It's a very simple game where you're mixing colours to get colours that you need to finish paintings. Now, the one thing that I don't understand is why you're painting paintings which have already been painted. So therefore, you're either a forger, forging paintings, but it doesn't matter. This game is a really nice brain burner. It's a slow brain burner because you're taking your time as you're manipulating these hexes and creating this big thing in the middle of your table and trying to get the paints that you need, and then there's a little bit of Catan exchanging with other players. Oh, I'll give you a brown if you give me a green, etc, etc, and then finishing these paintings. And it's always a very close game. The scoring is always tight, and my wife is champion at this in our house, and I need to start practicing my strategies and beating her. The last game I beat her, so I'm like, yay! But I don't think she's going to ever play it again because she knows that I beat her once, which is a shame, but I think this game will still come out quite a lot. This is my number 30, Pastiche. My number 29 is a card game with a difference. And when I say difference, I mean a difference. Yes, it's Abyss. How can you tell it's Abyss? Because it's written there. Abyss is a card game like no other that I've played. It has lots of nice mechanics, and it has lots of, you're playing the game and you're thinking all the time, but you're not just thinking all the time, you're also involved all the time, because on a player's turn they might go into the depths of the sea, which involves a kind of auctioning, which means that you have a chance to buy cards on another player's turn, depending if you've got the money or not. This game just works really well. I want to play it lots more. I've played it about 5-6 times, and it, as you can tell, 5-6 times just made it into my list at number 29. It is a great game with some fantastic art, some great mechanisms, which, as I said, I haven't seen in other games, but I have seen in other games, but putting them all together like this produces a fantastic game. That's my 29, Abyss. My number 28 is an extreme version of a very old game. And when I say that, I mean a very old game. Dominoes, to be exact. Can you guess what the game is? Sapiens, which is cavemen and it's old. Yeah, but dominoes is an old kind of game where you've got dominoes and you're matching ends together to make a line. But Sapiens, it does the same thing, but each player has a plateau, and they're just moving their tribe around in a trail-like way. This game it can be very, very friendly. It can be very, very savage. You can play it, just concentrate on what you're doing in front of you and trying to get the right dominoes to make your routes and get your points. But then again, it could be that you have to watch what other players are doing and sabotage them to try and get you the points and stop them getting the points. And again, it's a game where you have to watch the pool carefully for the dominoes. This game is one of those thinky games which I really like. This beautiful art, beautiful components. It has this lovely end of the game scoring where it's your lowest score, which is your final score. And it just works really, really well. Friendly, very thinky, and very easy to explain. It's just the powers of each tile or each symbol, like water or forest, you have to explain. But after a while, this game just runs like clockwork, and I really love playing this game. That's my number 28, the Sapiens. As a pirate, that'd be. My number 27 is a game which is chaotic, and at the same time very thematic, and at the same time very aesthetic to look at, and it involves money, bandits, and a train. Colt Express, yes. This game, there's things that bug me about this game, but this game in general just is a hoot to play. It is fantastic, especially when you've got 5 or 6 people playing at the same time. It is fantastic. You're bandits robbing a train, and you're planning out your actions ahead of each time. And then those actions actually happen as you move your people around on a 3D train. Yes, a 3D train. It's not a board, it's a 3D train with carriages like that. It's got a train like that. Woo-hoo-hoo. This game is just hilarious fun, and whenever I have friends around, this game goes down really well. The great thing about this game as well is that there is an extension for it, and already I've played it and I'm starting to enjoy it even more with this as well. This adds just a nice little bit on top of the game, and it gives you a few more options and bits and pieces to do. So definitely worth it. Even if you just get the base game, this game just looks beautiful. It plays nicely if you like chaos. If you don't like chaos, then stay away from this game. But it is laugh out loud moments as you steal something and then someone punches you and steals that. And then before you know it, the train's arrived at the station and you have lost after probably winning for most of the game. My number 26 is a love at first sight game. I found this at Essen and just adored it, and have been playing it ever since. I've been playing it solo as well, which is another bonus about this game. This game gives me that John Carpenter feel of Assault on Precinct 13. You're inside the building and the baddies are running around and trying to kill you and you're shooting back at them. Apocalypse Chaos is my 26. This game, it looks nice-ish. I'm not too big fan of the art, but I love the way that the game plays. It is a puzzle of a game. You construct your building, which is a spaceship, but for me it feels like a building, a police station. And then all these baddies come rushing in at you, and you got to pick them off before they pick you off. And you just got to survive all the waves. This game is very, very thinky. You have to roll some dice, they give you some actions, and then you can give the dice to other players if you need to, so they can use your actions and you can use their actions. And then once you're ready to go, everybody starts hitting each other. You hit the baddies hit you, and they move around, and it's all programmable action, and it works really, really well. This is a great puzzle game. This is a kind of like Colt Express, but the thing is, the baddies hit you, and they're programmed by the cards, the powers themselves. They're not programmed by the other players, and then all the players are attacking. It's co-op. It's co-op for 4 players, and it is. And I love it. I love it. That's Apocalypse Chaos. My number 25 is a deck builder. And it's a deck builder with a theme. The theme kind of works for me. It doesn't necessarily work. I am a traditional dungeon crawler person, and this is a deck building dungeon crawler. Yes, it is Thunderstone, and it's the advanced Thunderstone. And it's advanced because it's harder, and there's more cards. There's not a lot of cards in that one. There must be one in the other. I've got several of the expansions, and these boxes are heavy, hence they hurt my wrist. Thunderstone is a deck builder that you can play solo as well, but it's best to play with other players. That's all the monsters and everything in there. It's heavy. There's lots of cards which have lots of powers, and the table almost broke there with the weight of this box. It's a deck builder where you are building up an army of heroes to go into a dungeon to fight monsters, to collect a stone, and each monster has a different power. Each of your heroes has a different power which you can level up, and you can buy different equipment in the shop, or you can go in the dungeon and fight, or you can rest and camp and get rid of any diseases that you've caught. Yeah, those alpha females, they're dangerous. Anyway, this game is just a great deck builder game. I love deck building. There's a lot of variety in the base box, but you will find yourself buying 2 or 3 expansions, and there are a lot of expansions to go with this. If you like deck builders and you like theme, and this goes for 5 players as well. I haven't played it with 5. I want to. My version's English, so not a lot of English speaking players around here, I'm afraid. But this game is just and solo, it works brilliant as well. So Thunderstone Advance. My number 24 is a brand new game called Potion Explosion. Yes, this game came out at Essen, and this has been like one of the most games. This has been one of the games that I've played so much because of its components. It's a wonderful component. It has this kind of Candy Crush kind of feel where you like take one out, and if that bangs together, that makes a chain. And then you got these balls which you add into your potions, and once you've got collected all the colours, you make that potion, and then you can drink that potion, which gives you a special ability to take more bees. Bees is French for marbles, sorry. And this game has worked well everywhere. This is a great family game. It's visually interesting. When you're taught the rules, you think, my god, this game seems simple, but it's not. There's actually quite a bit of depth and strategy in how you drink your potions. Do you take a -1 point just so you can take an extra ball out? This game is just fantastic. Unfortunately, the first edition, which is what I've got here, has a lot of component problems, but I have been informed that all the new versions will have a different dispenser, better quality bees, and the box insert will be great as well. So look out for that. It's coming. It's coming. It's the fantastic Potion Explosion. Okay, my number 23 is a very old game from 2003. Yeah, 2003 this game, and it's still good family fun. It's a game that we play a lot. Just the base game. We do have some expansions, but we play normally with the base game. And it is called Alhambra. It is a tile laying game. It is a money taking game. It is a placement game, which is really cerebral, but at the same time it's very, very simple. And this game just goes, it's just one of those family games which easily comes out, where there's a market and we just buy these tiles and place them, and we have competitions of trying to get the longest wall, and then it's a very simple game. It's a very simple tile laying game. It's a very simple tile acquisition laying game. This is lame. Yeah, but it is a really good game, and we enjoy it a lot as a family, and this hits the table a hell of a lot, and that's why it's on this list. Because it is a very good game. Go and buy it. It's old, yes, but it's still in print, yes. And there's a big box version which has all the expansions in, which probably makes it a lot more interesting. But as I said, we sometimes play with the expansions and sometimes just play it naked. Base game, not naked. Gotta stop saying naked. 23, Alhambra. My number 22 again is based on a very, 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 very old game called Yahtzee. Box fart. That was a box fart. King of Tokyo is my number 23. This game, I prefer this over King of New York due to the fact that King of New York is a little bit more of a gamer's game, whereas this is very simple. I can play this with practically everybody because it is just simply rolling dice 3 times, guarding the results that you want, and then using those results to either attack other players or to heal yourself or to get victory points. And this is turning into the Rob Searing show because another fantastic insert which just makes this game easy to play. There's a couple of expansions for it. The base game itself is perfect as it is. I don't think you really need the expansions, to be honest. But if you're just a completionist, just to get orange dice or just to get the special starter cards, which I don't very rarely use. I just use the base game. The base game is just great on its own. So you don't need Halloween and you don't need Power Up. But just get the base game, that's why it's my number 22, King of Tokyo! And to wrap up this set, my number 21 is a board game, unlike the 22 and 23, which requires expansions. Why? Because if you play with just the base game, you will kind of like kill the game, so to speak. So you need to get expansion packs for Dixit, or maybe the 12-player version with Dixit Odyssey as well. Dixit is the great storytelling game of storytelling, because you have these cards and they have these very abstract images on them which could represent anything, and you just got to like give a clue in a form of a story or a lyric or maybe even a sound. So another player at the table will guess what your image is. And this game is just simple as that. But at the same time it's very cerebral because you need to go very deep into other people's minds. And this game is one of those games that I can play with both families and at the same time. And when I say both families, I have a French family and an English family. So my French family don't speak English and my English family don't speak French. But we can both play this game at the table at the same time. You just translate the phrase and away you go. It's a great game. This one plays up to 6, but as I said, the Odyssey one plays up to 12. This game is just fantastic and replayable because all these different types of cards, and it's just nice to let your imagination go, and this game does that fantastically. So that's my number 21. That's another 10 games. on my list of games that I think are the best out there, and a lot of these games I can still see being around in another 10 or 15 years time due to the fact that they are just so great and easy and familiar. These are the kind of games that I'd like to see in my... Well, some of these games you actually will see in Toys R Us in France, that's for sure, but not in England. They still have all those other kinds of games. Those panty kind of really rubbish reskinned Scooby-Doo Cluedo with Justin Bieber Cluedo. Yes. Well, thanks for watching. Give us another week and then another video will come out, counting down from 20 onwards all the way down to the other number with 2 ones. I heard a good one today. Quoi de neuf? De neuf c'est 99.